Foxcatcher, or Foxfire or something. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just like, can you shut up? Like, and then she.
But you got her.
No, she set herself on fire.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was a warning or.
Well, just take it as a lesson and move on.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Hello.
So, hi.
And welcome back. Not hello to you.
Oh right. Yeah, I'm saying hello to.
Well, don't.
Yeah. All right.
And welcome back to another episode in the RO episodes of the Lack of Focus podcast with me, Matt Bentley, and with me today, as usual, is Harvey Quinn. Harvey.
Good evening. Good afternoon.
Good evening. Well, it's a late one.
It's a late one.
We're in the booth at 7:30.
That's how much we put in.
That's it, exactly.
For you guys, not less so, obviously, but for you guys, we put in so much graft because these are core hours. This is my downtime.
Yeah,
I'm eating in.
There's an argument to say that you have quite a lot of that. A lot of your time is downtime.
Well,
big argument for that.
There is a big argument for that, but
no retort.
No retort. He's done me there. He's sewn me up.
I've absolutely done you. Yeah. Now, Harvey, there was a brilliant chit chat, excellent banter. Let's get to brass tacks. There is quite a lot to get through today. And we are getting through it. This isn't enjoyable. No one wants to be here. You know, let's just churn. Let's just get on with it.
Exactly. Crank of the wheel.
So we've got to talk about Bond.
God.
There was rumours, not started by us, God knows who started these rumours, that we were doing History 4 today.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Harvey's been in Athens.
Doing the groundwork.
He's very much like someone who, whatever's in front of him, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
In some cases, that's really helpful, like when you're on a film set or you're working.
Fantastic.
It's all about the work.
Yeah.
But you remove any of that from your environment and you become... So, for example, you went to...
I went to Athens.
And became obsessed with... history.
The Parthenon, exactly, the Acropolis, ancient history, the seat of Western democracy, all of that.
Kept texting me about it, yeah.
Just those phrases, in fact, I think.
No pictures.
No pictures.
Parthenon.
Don't know what to do with that.
Thanks, mate.
But, doing the groundwork, putting in the hours, going to Athens for you guys, so you can benefit from me having something to say. Otherwise, I'd just sit here, wouldn't I?
Did you take notes?
Yeah, I took notes.
Not mental notes, actual notes.
No, I didn't take actual notes.
Okay,
but I took mental.
But yeah.
So
take it as everyone at all times is always taking mental notes.
Yeah, but I know I was like, I'll take a mental note.
Yeah.
And what I did is imagined a notepad in my brain.
Brilliant.
And a pen writing down on it, and then I put that note and I forgot it. I forgot what the notes was. No, but I reckon I can talk at length about Athens.
Should we give it a go?
Well, no, because yeah, we will. But let's not jump the gun here.
Okay.
You mentioned Bond earlier, and we were going to do History 4, Return of Time.
Always think about what.
Always
have the
title
ready to
go. Yeah, don't just go halfway. Don't just Gladiator 1 it. Do you know what I mean? Don't start filming. Don't start filming before you got a bloody script. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ridley, for goodness,
Yeah.
Ridley now,
Ridley, yeah.
now Ridley.
For people not viewing, why would you be viewing? But if you're not viewing and you're just listening like a fucking lazy little bitch.
Yeah.
Harvey's got the little lower camera down there again.
Yeah.
Just wasting resources, and I have gone full Place Beyond the Pines with my hair.
Yes.
I am peroxide blonde.
Yes, we can talk about that as well.
And it was like most of my decisions, I don't really overthink them. Just went for it.
Just go for it.
Anyway, back to you were saying you were rattling on about something. And
Yes. We were going to do history. We're going to do history.
Yeah.
But because of the Bond news that happened, I think we had to sort of pull.
Yeah.
I guess we'd call it an emergency podcast, emergency show.
Well, I love that.
I love that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, emergency show.
So is that what you're going to put as the little emergency show?
Yeah. Bond
because
is dead.
Those two fucking little plebs on the rest of politics do that quite a lot. They go, emergency. I used to love them, by the way.
Yeah.
I used to really love Rory Stewart. And to an extent, I still do love Rory Stewart. I think Alistair Campbell's a fucking bellend. But I still sludge through. Anyway, they do a lot of emergency podcasts because the world's popping off at the minute.
It is getting a bit spicy.
But our world is very much popping off because of this terrible Bond news. Now, do you want to start or shall I start?
Let's sort of set the scene. I'll set the scene, then hand over.
Notice you're not even in focus in that camera.
Oh, do you know what though? If I just lean forward.
No.
That's all right.
Who cares?
Who cares? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. They're condescending cameras it's for the plebs, isn't it? It's not really for.
I think that
should
be in focus though.
Do you want to grab the guy?
Nah.
Do you not bothered?
No.
I'm not either, really.
We're live.
Yeah, exactly. We are on air. I mean, so yeah, I was about to. I think was I on the way to Athens?
I don't know.
And I text you saying, Bond
Yeah.
has been acquired by Amazon.
Yeah.
So
I
Barbara Broccoli.
I had a few
yeah,
things,
I bet you did.
For rumour to be somewhere near $1 billion.
Bloody hell.
And they're saying that Barbara and that geezer are still involved, but they won't be involved.
They won't be involved at all.
That's it. Now, I've done a bit of research on this. There was basically at the end of Daniel Craig really pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed.
Yeah.
To get producer credits, and when who played M? Judi Dench.
Judi Dench.
When she died, when she had her moment, he said he wanted a moment, right? And he had said he had them over a barrel because they were like, please don't. After Skyfall and all the rest of it, he was saying, please don't leave. Please come and do another one. We don't have your replacement. There's no actor in his late 30s who's good enough to step into the shoes. So he kept doing more and more and more, but he basically said, fine, well then I want my big moment. And that was the rumor. That is a complete rumor to say that it was actually Daniel Craig, who everyone loves. I love Daniel Craig. Yeah. Who said, I want my moment, which is basically a death. And Barbara, now the rumors are saying that Barbara didn't know that this was going to happen, this acquirement. But I like to think, the romantic in me likes to think that Barbara Broccoli knew she was going to get fucked by Amazon. Yeah. And decided, well, I'm taking out all the notches. I'm sinking the ship. I'm going to kill James Bond.
Yeah.
You think... Good luck picking up the pieces.
You think they did... that's why you think she killed Bond off?
I think she killed Bond off because she literally was doing she was killing Bond. She was killing the franchise. But doing it on her own terms. Quite like it.
Well, I remember...
If that is true, I rate that.
I do. I remember about a month ago, there was like rumours of her being quoted by a friend saying the people at Amazon keep trying to push for like us to like get a movie off the ground, and the ideas they were coming up with were so shit. She actually said in quotations, "They're fucking idiots."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean,
which is funny. But I have a so I think they would have just been hounding her all the time, being like, come on. I think at this point she's like, I'm in my 60s, I can't be asked for this anymore. Like, I know she's got a family legacy.
But what else are you gonna? I mean, not being funny, 60s is young, I would say. What else are you gonna do? You're the Bond woman. She might
have another project on the go.
Bring
back Pierce. Do something with Pierce.
If you're gonna listen, I think if you're gonna start doing like Q spin-offs and all the rest of it, just get fucking weird with it.
Yeah, Bond,
multi-universe.
Yeah. Just bring all the Bonds back.
Honestly, do your Andrew Garfield, fucking Tom Hardy, Tobey Maguire. Get them all down there. Strap them all in.
Get Tom Holland in. He's available.
Tom's about.
Yeah.
I mean, and if fucking matey boy Christopher Nolan, blacklisted by me, ditched me at the airport.
Yeah, mental.
If he wants to have a pop at doing the first Bond spin-off and can only release his film in that specific month of July, fucking that he always does it.
Yeah.
Then let him have it.
Let him have it. Film on film as well, Nolan. Like
film on film, yeah.
Use film, don't use digital.
So they're saying all these, like basically the last couple of Bond movies cost $300 million to make, and then some because Danny Boyle was supposed to direct. Apparently, they built a lot of sets that Danny Boyle had made to measure. Yeah, and then they went, by the way, Danny, you're not doing it. He's like,
well, burn that down then.
And they did it. So they spent probably the best part of $100 million on building these sets that were never used. Yeah. The official number for the last Bond film was $300 million. Yeah. And then some. Yeah. And then some, I think. Yeah. So basically what everyone's saying is just like, guys, we could go and make a huge TV show for $90 million. Yeah. We could do a whole Q spin-off for $90 million.
Easy as well, cheap.
And still have change on what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I get what they're doing. I just think it's a real shame. I think it's the last of the sort of British things to really be done.
It's the last ride. It's the last big like franchise or intellectual property IP that hasn't been absolutely milked to death.
Well,
it will be now, won't it? Like that's why. Like I think. I mean, unless they put out something brilliant now, which is very unlikely.
Now, what this does bring in, selfishly for me, is realistically, I wasn't going to be Bond. Right now, very much you're way too Asian to be Bond.
That's
it was never
on
the cards for you.
Not
the villain. You could have been the villain, and you still can be the villain.
I still can be the villain.
You still can go and be the villain.
And in Bond spin-off series
Yeah,
when they're looking for a villain.
Oh, hello.
I'll do it.
That's
do you know what I mean? And I'll love it.
You've also got all these ridiculous tattoos, so you can put
Makeup,
a couple on your face.
Hello.
Do you know what I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen Harvey in the flesh, but I think that you're the exact same genetic makeup as Central C.
Really?
Central C goes to my gym. I see him a lot.
Yeah.
And you have. Honestly, I'm not. All joking aside, if you put on one of his like beanie hats that he wears, I think you have an incredibly similar face to Central.
Do you know what I was thinking? I could like grunge it up a bit. Do you know what I mean? I'm saying.
Well, I wouldn't say Sench is grunge.
He's not, but like, do you know what I mean? He's a bit like more.
Oh, he's mate,
bit more urban.
Oh, he's fucking cool as shit.
Do you know what I mean? He's cool. I'm like
cool, man.
Yeah, I'm a bit Denmark.
You're.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's not
so
cool.
Copenhagen.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Although not if I'm playing a Bond villain.
No, you should be a Bond villain.
I should be a Bond villain.
And I think I would be quite a good modern day Trevelyan.
You'd be a great Alec Trevelyan.
I'd be a good.
That'd be a very good. Oh, that's a great role.
James. No, for me.
For me. Why is he whispering? Always
because they're on cradle. They're outside.
I know.
You should be screaming.
You should be shouting. Yeah. The wind alone is going to blast your eardrums out.
Yeah, it's going to blast your eardrums. I'm saying this live on the radio, and this is radio. This is live.
Yeah.
This is my idea for when I eventually release an album. I told Harvey about it, and he greenlit it.
Yeah.
My album is going to be every song is going to be named after the GoldenEye missions on Nintendo 64.
All the maps.
Yeah, the maps.
Yeah.
Each song is going to be named after that, and all the shit munchers would be like, "Oh, what is this? It's so kooky." And then one genius would be like, "That's GoldenEye."
Yeah.
And then the album would be at least. I mean,
have you never heard of the Nintendo 64?
Yeah, Runaway.
Yeah.
Runaway 2.
Runaway 3.
Whatever.
Hanger. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of them, is my point. There's loads of them.
There was loads.
So
you used to get a lot of bang for your buck on the 64. A lot of missions.
Yeah, well, games in general used to get a lot of bang. Mate, saying that, Sophie's niece stayed with me and Sophie the other month. And I was like, okay, she was like asking about video games and stuff. I guess she's like 8 or 9. And I was like, I don't know any video games that I can like for kids.
No.
So I was like, but she was talking about designing houses and all that stuff. So I was like, Sims, great. Remember the Sims 2? Brilliant. Yeah. So I downloaded Sims 4 on my computer.
Very different game, I imagine.
First menu. Yeah. Let's just buy this, it's literally the amount of like microtransactions that are pushed into the main menu.
Really buy real money.
With money, buy like stuff in-house for real money. It's like that is so predatory. You know it's kids that are looking at that.
It's kids or just fucking proper weird.
Proper losers, yeah. Let's call a spade a spade. If you're buying like a digital dress in The Sims 4 and you're a 35-year-old bloke,
have a look at yourself.
Someone check their hard drive, for goodness sake. Do you know what I mean? Because what else is on there?
Yeah.
What else is on there?
Yeah.
Nonsense, isn't it? So check your hard drive. I think that was a good Bond segment.
Yeah. I think we left it open in case Barbara, if Amazon are going
to come look at this,
they're thinking
do their
obviously
research.
They're going to be disappointed, but they put a positive spin on it.
I wouldn't call it promotional.
No.
No. But look, if you do want to reach out to us, we have got the email address in the thing, Amazon. So we're available. Yeah. So if you need, acting. Yeah. We're good at that. Excellent Bond segment. Before we do the history.
Yes.
Before we do the history. And it does tie into...
You wanted to bring something in, didn't
you? It does sort of tie into my trip to Athens, to ancient Athens.
Ancient Athens.
Yeah. Ancient Athens. And I was in the airport.
Yeah.
Terminal 5, loving it. Walked past the billboard, electronic billboard. Ooh, who's that? And the billboard. It's Millie Bobby Brown. Woman of the Year.
Woman of the Year 2004.
Right? And then, I was so happy, Matt, because I walked past that billboard and then was walking up to another billboard.
To another one.
She's on that as well.
You're kidding me.
That happened about 5 or 6 times as I'm trying to get through
she's a current
security.
person. She's a current person.
That's how popular that woman is.
Very popular person.
Woman of the Year 2024.
2024.
So I was like, people must be really asking for her to be up there, her to be up there. That's how it works. If you're very popular, people write in and email in to the Gatwick or Heathrow and they say, we want her.
Like when Jordan was all over Paris in the 90s because he was the most loved, everyone loved him.
Yeah.
So that's why they put him on.
Yeah. Everyone was like, please, we want to see Jordan on the billboard.
So you're assuming...
That's what happened.
Naturally, you made the assumption that everyone loves Millie Bobby Brown, so
why wouldn't
reason why, potentially on your...
I was...
This is
exactly
what we'll be looking at.
This is it. I was so so happy to see it. And it was like, oh wow, she's on the billboard. She's on the front cover of Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair.
I was like, oh, Vanity Fair. That's that industry. Oh, where all the thing. And I was like, I was like, I've got to get a copy of this for the flight because it's a 4 hour. It's a 4 hour flight. I went to the first.
Did they print enough?
Did they fuck?
No way.
No, I was in there asking, and they were like, do you know what we just had people swarming. It was like literally running with like multiple copies to the counter, like getting, and it was a nightmare.
Like when the Teletubbies came out in sort of 97.
Exactly.
Going, only one per person.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Beatlemania as well. Yeah. People tearing their hair out, screaming. Yeah. But yeah, they were like, we don't have any. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll look around another WH Smith. So I walked really far to the other end of the terminal.
Terminal 5, big terminal.
And I bought a copy of Vanity Fair. Thank God.
Thank God you got one.
Thank God. For the listener, I'm just holding up a copy of Vanity Fair. Thoroughly modern. Millie Bobby Brown on Life After Stranger Things is the headline that they've run with. Expose. So
just to say, not that we are on the zeitgeist and predicting the future on this podcast, but here is an exclusive. Run your mouth back to the episode wherever the fuck we were when we did the last one.
I think it was episode 13.
Whatever. We did say, she'll be doing interviews being like, I want to get Stranger Things done and dusted.
Yeah.
And see what's coming next for the 21-year-old.
So in a way, we are sort of prophetic.
Yeah.
In a way.
Never knew what that meant, so I'm glad
prophecy comes true. Prophecy comes true.
Brilliant.
Yeah, wow. Nostradamus.
I would have that's excellent.
Again.
What's the content of it?
Oh, do you know what? It's so good, Matt, because I was like, she's gonna have loads of stuff to say now that she's done with Strange Things. Remember, she was like the story we said, we were like, oh, she'll be telling some stories.
Some tales.
This is what they've written as just sort of there she is.
Yeah.
Looking very.
Don't worry about showing the camera. No one watches.
Yeah, no one watches. She's looking very much like sort of a movie star. She is. She's a global star.
Well,
icon.
I would say, let's not say movie star. Let's say global star because
it is global. Vanity Fair, global magazine. I think they sell that all over.
I don't like to say it, but Timmy Chalamet's a movie star. She is a star.
Yeah. Timmy's a movie star. $5.99 this cost me.
Wow.
Do you know what, in this economy?
Yeah.
So the thoroughly modern Millie, as a sensational hit series that launched her career, comes to an end. Easy for me to say.
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown has a plan to sustain the momentum.
Okay.
All while saying no.
Brilliant.
As much as she needs.
Brilliant.
As much as she needs. To and living on a farm in Georgia. See now that. So I know it says it's broken up, so needs to, it should be, but why have they? It's very confusing.
Okay.
Not good editing, but look, I'll let them off because they probably were so flabbergasted that they had a fucking official exclusive with Millie Bobby Brown. They're just probably typing away, aren't they?
Yeah.
All while saying no as much as he needs to, and living on a farm in Georgia. Full stop. And then just why not? Question mark.
Living on the Georgia.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
I reckon I'm quite bored on Georgia Farm.
I would, particularly at 19 years of age.
I think she's 21.
Oh, is she 21? Yeah. I thought she was younger. Oh, 21. Brilliant. And then it just said Stranger Things.
So if I was 21 out of the state, I'll be out boozing.
Yeah, I'd definitely be. Mate, I think I was out boozing.
I definitely
I wasn't in Georgia.
Definitely.
But again, I wasn't Millie Bobby Brown. Stranger Things have happened is the sign off. Lovely callback.
Oh, shut up.
Lovely callback. Yeah.
She's gone and done them with the name of the show that made her famous.
Yeah. Immediately.
That is good.
Stranger Things.
That is good.
Have happened. And it does go on, I'll be honest, it goes on a bit, just about how Millie Bobby Brown is just really...
Well, don't ruin it for them. People want to read it for themselves.
I think so, but what I'm saying is...
that's
so good. I read all that on the plane and
because you were really worried that she wasn't going to be successful post the show, and I was trying to say to you, mate, don't you worry about Millie.
Well, then she proved me wrong with that Damsel movie, didn't she? That Damsel movie on Netflix.
I'll shock you. I haven't actually heard or watched that.
Oh no, it did very well. It did very well. It was her. She did all her own stunts, all of them. Because why not?
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened. Indeed. And that, I think that brings us on to the History 4 segment.
Yeah.
Of the show.
History 4. Welcome back. As you know, we're qualified historians.
Critically acclaimed.
We'll give you a sort of an overview. Occasionally we'll go into really, really, really microscopic detail.
Yeah.
It's all off the top of our heads. We don't. We just pontificate about some topics. Harvey, I'm assuming now. Oh, yeah. Stranger things have happened.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to assume you're doing yours on Athens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That would be
Actually relieved.
Well, I had a couple of choices, but I thought Athens would probably be.
Athens. You just got back.
Yeah, I just got back.
Yeah.
Just got back. All right, let me paint you a picture.
Please do.
Imagine, if you
Briefly.
will. I'll keep it brief, but I do like indulge me.
Sure.
Imagine, if you will, walking up a cragged rock, right? You can hear noise in the background of like merchants gabbling on in a tongue that isn't your own.
Careful.
Yeah. Well, no. Like ancient Greek, right? It's a nice, sort of a nice language with beautiful sounds, and you're like, well, what is this?
You've clawed your way back there.
Yeah, just about. But
sounds
anyway.
like a little bit Farage.
Well, let's wind it back. So imagine you're walking up this hill, and then you start seeing little burnt out fire pits where people have had fires, and as you're ascending this crag, you see the glisten of the Mediterranean Sea.
Yes.
Yeah. And then in the distance, this really strange building, right, made out of marble.
Wow.
Yeah. And then that's the Parthenon of the hill in Athens. Yeah. That's what you would have experienced if you were arriving into Athens.
In what year?
In 450
Okay.
BC.
Okay.
Yeah, 450 BC. That's what that would have felt like.
And did that differ from your experience in 2025?
Very much so, yeah, because I went...
Building's still there, though, isn't it?
Building's still there, but there is also loads and loads of coaches turning up full of tourists.
Yeah.
And a lot of shouting. A lot of shouting.
This is the thing with tourism. Obviously, it's nice to go and visit places, but everyone else needs to fuck off.
I completely agree, yeah.
So, everyone is the leader of their own story.
Yeah.
And know much more than when you are going to see ancient monuments.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't really feel like most other people, they go, oh yeah, tick that off the list.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna feel it.
Yeah, I really was there for hours, like really trying to imagine what it was like.
Yeah.
In ancient Greece.
Well, you just painted that really shallow picture of
really
that.
Shallow picture. But you know what? I thought about that on the spot.
Yep.
So do you know what I mean? I could have written something.
You're
I just
kidding.
decided,
That wasn't rehearsed?
No.
You amaze me.
I know.
Because it was so good.
It was really tight. So yeah, I was in Athens for 4 days. I went there to see my friend Mike, who lives in Karamekios, which is a really kind of cool area of Athens.
No one gives a shit. Because obviously we're doing this is the history bit.
Yeah, but this is part of history.
No, not really though, is it? Because all you've said about the history right now is the Parthenon exists and 450 and tourists.
Yeah.
So tell us something else.
Well, look, I'll give you a bit of context picture. So I was in Karamekios, which is a part of Athens which contains within it the ancient cemetery of Athens.
Okay.
So loads of ancient ruins in the cemetery, very beautiful. But walking from there, it's in sort of the base of the hill that is the Acropolis, which is the slopes that lead up to the Parthenon, and there's also the Agora building, which is on the Acropolis slopes.
Yeah.
But Karamekios is like 10-minute walk from that, so I literally walked out of where I was staying and could get to the Parthenon in 20 minutes, which was amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's a really steep walk.
Now, was this free?
It's €10.
Oh, brilliant!
Which is very cheap, but I was out of season. I think during summer they probably put the price up a bit.
I would.
Yeah, I mean you're mugging yourself off if you don't, because they can't show the Elgin marbles anymore because they're in the British Museum.
I stop having a go at the British Museum. Oh, listen. Yes. Did we acquire one or two things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we could give them back, but we chose not to.
Fuck off.
I did a movie about it. That's
keepers,
activities. Yeah. I don't really give a shit. But
also, if you don't like it, don't fucking go.
Go where? I'll go British Museum. Oh yeah, no, I do like the British Museum.
Stay at home.
I do like the British Museum.
Why wouldn't you? It's a brilliant place.
It's a brilliant place.
Full of things we found.
And look, but they're maintained beautifully.
Maintained excellently.
Lovely light on there.
Trust me, take it from me, they go mental if you touch anything.
They really do kick off.
That's why they put glass on shit. I'll get through it.
Yeah, of course it will. Yeah. That is an obstacle, but it is an obstacle.
So what was in terms of the history of the Parthenon, what's the Parthenon used for, Harvey? I can't believe I'm having to prompt you on questions.
Sure, so it's been used for multiple things. It was built in 476 BC, and it took 10 years to build. And like anything at that time...
That's really quick.
Yeah, I know, really quick. But like anything
They've been doing fucking roadworks in my area for 6.
They don't use slaves though, do they? in your roadworks. So like anything at that time, I was going to say, lot of slaves.
Was it a lot of slaves?
Lot of slaves. But I think the view, it's very hard to understand what slavery was like in ancient Athens through a modern lens, because it was so accepted and such a part of everyday life.
Yes.
And slaves, even some of the slaves in Athens, had salaries and worked in banks. And
there's a very possible way to think that Deliveroo drivers in
kind of
1,000 years
yeah,
would be considered.
Well, it's sort of modern it's like indentured service in that they have to keep working, otherwise. I mean, if they
the kids in the Nike factories, Nike.
Yeah, it's indentured.
That's not slavery. I don't know what it is.
Slavery, yeah.
Bloody good shoes though.
Bloody good shoes, but they were kind of indentured workers, but they were slaves. They were born into the slave class of work. I feel bad about that. Just trying things.
Just trying things out. Just trying things out. On a show that we can't edit.
We can edit. We just choose not to.
Do you know what I mean? I just don't. I can't be arsed.
It's so long. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just don't be a dick and don't say anything that's going to get you in trouble. So yeah, the Parthenon. It was originally obviously built as a temple.
Oh right, okay.
To the gods, to the god Athena. They had a.
Is this thing massive?
Huge.
So I went to Knossos, amazing.
Yeah.
Which actually predates it. That's even older. But it was very big. So I'm assuming
Huge.
the Parthenon was silly big, right?
It's so massive. Yeah, I think it's 10 columns across and then 40 deep. So it's like,
wow.
It's a fucking massive building and very, very tall. And each column is actually built with such architecture and precision. It looks, but from the naked eye, straight up close, they look straight, but they're not. They're slightly tapered, and the whole thing moves inwards. Really? So they bulge in the middle, but they were built like that to accommodate. From looking at them from a distance, they look straight. It's kind of an optical illusion,
right.
And each column is fluted, so it has like a flute pattern around it that aids the design. So it's like they're doing that like 2,500 years ago.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
It's mad.
Yeah.
But it was originally a temple, and it was a temple for Athena. But like the Greek religion in ancient Greece, there wasn't any like priests. There wasn't any hierarchy to like mortals. It was just mortals and then the gods. And the gods would occasionally come down off Mount Olympus.
They would often come down off Mount Olympus and shag people.
I know, and that's where you get Hercules.
They do a lot of raping. Zeus was flinging it about.
Was he?
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, but it was when no socks, just a pair of moccasins, pair of sunglasses, medallion.
Was really, really throwing his fucking weight around.
Yeah.
Nasty piece of work.
Nasty bastard, I think.
Yeah. And he's blaming it all on the fucking the giants above him.
Titans.
Yeah, all their rubbish, mate. I mean, look in the fucking mirror. So,
yeah.
You know.
Do have a look at yourself.
Yeah.
Because they're murderous, the Greek gods.
And sexual assaults.
Yeah.
That's how that's
sexual assault and murder.
That's how Aphrodite comes about.
I like Hermes.
Hermes, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Messenger god, slightly crafty. Do you know what I mean? Trickster.
Yeah.
Trickster god. Speaks my language.
Obviously Achilles, just because Brad Pitt just nailed that.
He did nail that.
Brad Pitt nailed
Mate,
Achilles.
they keep posting videos of that on social media, and it's like with a quote from him being like, I couldn't get out of every frame I was in. He hated it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But that was a one for you, wasn't it? That movie.
Yeah,
he did one for the studio because he owed them because one of his projects got cancelled or something.
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
So he was contracted to do it, so he did it, and then in all the interviews back, he's like, I hated it. But in retrospect, that movie's pretty good.
So I actually saw something really recently, like even like 2 days ago, being like, that is a movie that had a £400 million budget.
Yeah.
And everything you see in that film is a practical effect. There is no CGI.
Is there not?
The only CGI effect is the 1,000 ships, the launching of 1,000 ships.
Oh, fine.
But
everything else is set.
Everything else, every battle you see, the fighting, that's they
cool.
built that shit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that's fucking badass.
But yeah, so great. God's great. Hermes, Achilles, all that stuff. But yeah, it was originally built with the statue of Athena in the center, made out of gold and ivory. It doesn't exist anymore.
Nicked.
I think it got destroyed when Christianity took over the area.
Yeah.
And they took down loads of the original, but it was described.
Christianity will do that.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about ancient Greece. It's like one of the first examples we have of writing and history, because the Greeks wrote everything down.
Yeah.
Herodotus famously wrote the histories, which is that's where the word history comes from. And it's an account of ancient Greece.
The Greeks more literate than the Romans.
I think they're before the Romans. Yeah,
the fucking Romans, like, Pompeii, right?
Yeah,
which is in the Roman Empire, has like an aqueduct.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
fucking
crazy.
Insane. That
yeah,
is.
it's pretty crazy.
Like they knew that the Vesuvius was going to erupt because the water got evaporated at the aqueduct, and the water stopped for like 8 hours, and that was like one of the first signs. Imagine, like sometimes my plumbing doesn't work.
I had a boiler that didn't work for 2 weeks in January.
Yeah, well, I don't think. Listen, they weren't having. They didn't have a sauna built into.
No, they didn't have heating.
But it's But I mean, they had
central heating.
Imagine, they were.
I think they had. I think they had heating through like natural springs and baths and stuff.
And then what's even more ridiculous is that the pyramids were built 1,000 years before any of that.
Yeah, and we still don't really know how the pyramids have been built.
No, the pyramids is the only thing you can speculate here is there's an ancient civilization that was wiped from the face of the earth that were as effective as we are.
Yeah, exactly. And we're historians, so we can say that.
We can, and we will say that.
The evidence.
Well, listen, everyone thinks that they're, the planet is littered with civilizations that thought they were the everlasting one.
Yeah.
And they fucking weren't.
They fucking fucked it, didn't they?
So I was diddling around with this little podcast.
When will we learn?
When will we learn?
So it was a temple, and then it got taken over by the Christians, and then it became a Christian church.
Did it?
Then it got
audacity of that.
Yeah, and then they got conquered by
doesn't have a steeple.
I think it got conquered by the Moors, and the Iranians or the ancient Persians, and it became.
Remember, you're not saying I think
a mosque.
It did.
Huh?
You think? No, you just it did.
It did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it
did.
Yeah. So. And that was for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't bore you with the numbers.
Doesn't matter.
And it was a mosque for I think 300 years.
Right.
And then it was reconverted into, I think, a storage facility, and they used it to store munitions for
World War II sort of vibes.
Before predating World War II. And then during World War II it was bombed.
So
why would you bomb?
You're kidding.
Parthenon.
That's the only thing that knocked it wasn't like an earthquake.
No, the Nazis bombing.
Knossos was knocked over by, they think, one of the biggest earthquakes that ever hit the Mediterranean.
So it'd been
That's
built.
What brought that down.
I think it'd been refurbished and built, and it had not been knocked down a couple of times, but not completely, just slightly damaged or defaced.
Yeah.
They took down a lot of the ancient iconography, like Athena. And Zeus and all that imagery, and they replaced it with Catholic imagery and that sort of stuff. And then I presume that happened again when it was a mosque.
What's the dominating religion of Greece now?
It's Greek Orthodox.
Greek Orthodox.
Yeah, Greek Orthodox. Yeah, which is actually, there's something very sweet about it. You see a lot of little old women walking around Greece in completely black because they're widows, and that's kind of the part of the Orthodox religion, and they were really sweet.
Don't tell me, when we buried my friend who died, he was Greek Orthodox. That funeral was fucking hectic.
Was it?
Oh, dude.
Greeks.
I mean, it's not ideal anyway. But
yeah.
I mean, it was.
Sure.
They no fucking about, man.
They know fucking about. I fucking love the Greeks, man. I think
Greek dudes.
They're my favourite.
Well,
is that and Portuguese?
The best man, you and Johnny. Johnny was my best man. He's Greek.
Yeah.
Fucking bear Greek.
He is very Greek.
So Greek.
He's a very Greek man.
And he's a proper boy.
Legend.
I've got a good affiliation with.
Yeah, I loved it. I love
a lot of Greeks in London, actually.
Loads of Greeks in London, North London as well. Big Greek
North
community,
London,
right?
Yeah. Massive.
Yeah. But yeah, so and then it's made out of complete marble.
Where's the marble from?
I think a local quarry that was carted up in loads of horses and stuff. And
don't say
carrots.
I think.
I don't know for certain. Well, I did do my research. I was asking around. I was going out to people. And they're I don't know.
Please leave me alone.
Yeah, they're like, I don't speak your language.
Listen, I've got a deadline.
No, listen. No.
I'm going live in 2 days.
Yeah. No, Dimitri, sit down. Seriously, mate. It's actually. I'm really stressed out here. Okay, I need you to answer my question.
The bus will leave when I tell it to leave. Fucking relax, yeah?
No. Wait your turn, ma'am. Yeah.
The temperature doesn't get that cold at night. We'll be fine. It's
not a very windy night.
Parthenon.
Exactly, the Parthenon. Yeah, I need some facts. Yeah, it's not windy. But it's amazing. It's an amazing.
It's definitely something that I want to see. Athens in general, very vibey city. You said
very vibey city. It's
derelict kind of.
Sort of, yeah. So there's loads and loads of investment going on at the moment in Athens, and it has been over the past few years. Just because I think it's quite easy to get to from a lot of places that are sort of outside of Europe. So like the Balkans, it's in the Balkans basically.
The 04 Athens Olympic was fucking successful. Very successful.
Yeah, for sure. But it's such an amazing city. Like the Greeks have got, it feels like Paris, but obviously everything's cheaper. There's a cheaper cost of. It's a bit more hectic than Paris.
Yeah, I can
in the they've had a lot of issues like economically, and their government are pretty right wing and quite authoritarian.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, and there's a lot of corruption, I think, in Greece.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But because of that, like the cost of living is so cheap out there. Like I think, like we were out in a big group of us. There was like 6 of us, and they were constantly ordering food, like small plates and Greek, and like it was like really big, generous portions of like kalimaki, which is like skewers and stuff, and hummus and salad and fresh, like this amazing food, just constantly being brought out, and like rounds of beers, and I was like, they were like, yeah, we split it at the end. I was like, for fuck's sake.
But it wasn't making too much of a dent for you.
It was €11.
Love that.
Per person.
Love that.
Like it's just like
it's
amazing.
Lisbon has that vibe going on.
Yeah, it does.
Ridiculously cheap.
Only out of season though, isn't it? Because in season I think it's quite expensive.
No, man, I went there for.
When did you go?
In June. Pretty peak season. But I mean, look, I live in fucking zone 2 of London and have done since birth. So anything's fucking cheap to me, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we've caught up. Like all those places like Norway or Scandinavia or like Copenhagen. I remember when I was like 20, loads of people, my friends were like, they're so expensive, you can't afford to do anything.
No, we've caught up with them big time.
But I think we've just caught up with them now. So when I went to Copenhagen, I was like, oh, things are just the same price.
Yep, that's why I found Copenhagen.
Oh, right, okay, fine.
Me too. The only place that does still blow my fucking mind is New York.
That's outrageous. That's outrageous.
Fucking mental.
Yeah, I think the exchange rate between the UK and America is not great at the moment either.
So bad, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
right, you done?
I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah.
Fascinating stuff.
But yeah,
absolutely fascinating.
That was a good little bit of history segment. I would have brought the whiteboard again, but the whiteboard I've got in my in the old noggin.
Yeah. We got the wall behind you.
We could just write on
I'm
that.
sure the guys here won't mind if you just write in permanent marker on that.
Well, you can paint over it.
Improve the place.
You can paint over it.
Yeah. Get that wall off.
All right. So that I think leads us into.
What about my history?
Oh yeah, of course. What's your history?
Mutiny on the Bounty.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mutiny on the Bounty.
Come back here, Mr. Fryer! Yeah, that's all I know. Yeah, that's all I know about it.
So, it is a film starring, what's his name, matey boy?
Anthony Hopkins and
Tony Hopkins.
Mel
He plays. It's about an old wooden ship. And it's a very famous, the most famous mutiny in British naval history.
Yeah.
It was on the 28th of April, 1789. Blythe, guess how old Blythe is, the captain of this ship?
The actual Blythe. I would say mid 40s to 50s.
Is he 33-year-old man?
I wouldn't trust that young man.
I mean, like, it's fucking mental. So when he takes...
No wonder there's a bloody mutiny. Do you know what I mean? They looked at him like, where's your beard, mate? Get the fuck off.
It's mental. Yeah. But like, he obviously 33 in 1789. He's an old man. He's had a very illustrious naval career by this point, right?
How old was he when he started being a naval officer?
Well, because you're an officer from 14 years old if you're born into an aristocracy.
Oh, of course.
Rich, that's the kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do I have time to go into this?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you certainly do.
The Royal Navy, the Royal Navy bought the Bounty, the ship, to use as a transporter of food from the Caribbean. They wanted breadfruit. I don't know what it is. They don't. We still, the translation got lost. We don't know what breadfruit is.
There is a breadfruit now
that's made in the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's Caribbean.
They try to bring it back to here, right?
Yeah, this
is a year-long trip. Right?
Yeah.
And they had to... This is where the problem
is. It like a jackfruit? I think it might be.
Something like this. But it was very sadly and fucked up, obviously. It was a cheap thing to feed slaves back in and Europe, basically. And this is a part of the problem. The ship, the Bounty, was not a big ship. It was big, but wasn't big enough. So the captain's quarters got converted into a greenhouse.
Was he furious about that?
He was all right with it. Right. Because he got given the other captain's place, which is
still 2 captains' place.
Well, no, like one of the first officers, right? So
what happened to the first officer?
Everyone gets knocked down.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
So he's going, Captain, my digs are really small. It's like, well, I lost mine to a fucking tree, bro.
Yeah, I lost mine to.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm in your shitty one.
It's a greenhouse in there. So, and I'm poking around in it. Anyway, you go down and down and down. The men are. It's less than 6 foot down there. They're right down in the ballast of the boat now, and they're Can you imagine, Harvey? They're fuming.
I bet they're furious.
Absolutely.
I think the first officer would be more furious.
First officer's pretty pissed off.
But going up to the captain and be like, look, mate, you've taken my quarters. And he's like, well, I've got to sleep in your quarters, so how do you think I feel?
Well, let's not skip to the end here, but you'll never guess who leads the mutiny. It is Fletcher Christian, first officer. He was promoted to first officer, and so he's going, Fletcher, sit down here, boy.
Yeah.
You've been promoted.
Yeah.
The bad news is, this is your gaff. What? Yeah. Last one's on any other boat in the Royal Navy, they get a fucking big old gaff. Not you, son. You bloom cupboard.
Yeah. But why am I losing what you can't you get somewhere else? But I am the captain.
Can't do it.
But I am the captain.
Yeah. Anyway, everyone's getting pissed off.
But Captain Blythe, that feels very short-sighted because it is going to sow resentment within the crew.
Just not think ahead.
Yeah. That's just the way it is.
It's only a short trip, isn't it? That's a year. What are you talking about? Anyway, they're heading
They won't mutiny.
They're headed down to Cape Horn. They'll be too afraid. Cape Horn, sorry, and it's fucking freezing down there.
Yeah.
Because it's inverted seasons.
Yeah.
And after 3 weeks of trying to get around Cape Horn, they sack it off and they head into the Indian Ocean. Everyone's a lot happy about this, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll skip a little bit.
Yeah, do.
People. Anyway, they get to Tahiti and they go, right, listen, we're going to be here for 6 months. Chill out.
Great.
The crew, do they like this news? They love this. And they go, what? So we're just out shagging here, Tahiti birds, and just getting high on their local product. And, the surgeon drank himself to death. After 6 weeks, he drank himself to death.
How good a time was he having? Just literally like...
Good old time.
Yeah, how long we got till we get back on the boat?
Blythe goes, right, back on the boat.
Sorry.
You're kidding me, aren't you? No, we're going back to... You got 7 months down in the little hangars.
In the hole.
And he starts whipping people quite a lot, his own crew. That pisses them off a lot.
Oh.
Then they eventually get back on the boat after... Everyone's fucking fuming. Yeah, they've had enough of it. And Fletcher wakes up one day and she goes, you know what? Fuck this. Off you fuck. Get off. Now, he mutinies the boat. The whole time as he's doing the mutiny, by the way, this is important, he puts an anchor around his neck so that if any point it goes wrong, he has a kill switch on himself. He'll just jump overboard and sink himself to the bottom of the fucking ocean.
What? Why would you choose that?
Because the punishment for being caught doing mutiny is so hectic. It's what you should get in the UK for carrying like a machete on you, basically. You should
What is it?
Well, they get hung corn and short.
Right. Or not not keyholed or something.
No, you get taken back to the UK and then you get
fine.
Caught and draw, like it's fucked up. Anyway,
it's like treason, effectively.
Yeah, it's unbelievably
sort of
bad. Unbelievably bad. Anyway, Blythe is mutinied with 7 other men, and incredibly, they make it back to the UK on this tiny little boat the size of the sofa you're on right now. They make it back to the UK, and Fletcher's going. Fletcher says, "Well, the plan is we get back to the UK, we get back to fucking England, and we go, Blythe, poor mate, lost his mind."
Yeah.
And he jumped overboard and killed himself. So they say that one first, and everyone goes, "You did all you could, mate." Yeah. Right? Out of fucking nowhere, a year later, Blythe, you'll never guess who's down by the port. Oh yeah, who is it?
William Blythe.
I think it's William Blythe.
Billy Blythe.
And he is fucking furious.
I bet he's seething.
At you, mate.
I bet he's very upset. And then what happened then?
Yeah, exactly what you think happened.
Oh, they got hung, drawn, quartered.
Everyone gets absolutely fucking done in. But interestingly, you know the story of Pocahontas, John Adam Smith.
Yeah.
He, this is a true story. Yeah. He was on the Bounty, fled, stayed on the island in Tahiti.
Oh, I have heard this story,
and he is there's only like 100 people who live on that island to this day still, and every single one of them is a descendant of him.
And he's got his own fucking Disney movie now.
Which is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Do you know how many fucking birds he must have been smashing through on that island?
It's a small island.
It's a small island, but I mean like...
40, probably.
Pretty amazing.
Probably at least 40.
Anyway, now you know every single detail of the mutiny of the Bounty.
It's mental that he got a Disney movie. He was the lead of a Disney movie.
And Blythe just goes, what a moaning little fucking... Just shut up.
Yeah.
In fact, you know the geezer who did SAS Who Dares Wins, who got fired for being a...
Oh, the one that looks like a sort of
Ant
bird.
Middleton. Ant Middleton's first book. I listened to his first book, First Man In. That's a brilliant book, and you should listen to it because it's actually wild how much that guy fucked up his life.
Oh, yeah, really?
3 times and still ended up on Channel 4.
That's pretty mad, yeah.
Fuck,
and then he did it again.
Oh
4 times, and when will you learn?
He did it again. Anyway, They commissioned him after Who Dares Wins to do the Journey of Blythe. So he did
on the Bounty,
on the little boat. So he did the mutiny journey, and he couldn't do it. Him and his crew couldn't do it.
I reckon I'd nail
with
that.
modern day technology.
I reckon I'd nail that.
So Blythe was a very, 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 very incredible, industrious individual.
Yeah,
bit of a cunt,
bit of a bastard. Whipping, don't whip him.
But like,
don't
leave someone in the fucking Indian Ocean, basically. On a dinghy, because it's out. In a way, it's out of order.
Don't mutineer. Do you know what I mean? Don't mutineer.
It's not cricket.
It's not cricket.
Fascinating stuff.
That was a good history segment. I felt I learnt a lot. I didn't know enough about the Bounty, and now I know like slightly more.
Yeah, I learned nothing about
Parthenon. Yeah, it's made of marble, built in 478.
Don't keep saying it because they're very bored of it.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? But you got your phone out just as I opened up my
Mutiny
of the Bounty.
Yes,
I told you all week I'm gonna do the Mutiny of the Bounty.
Yeah.
And you just go on.
It's just a question. The fan questions.
Fan mail.
Yeah, fan mail.
Oh, thank God. Yeah,
we've had a fucking.
Put my glasses on for this.
Yeah, we've had an absolute corker of a week this week for fan mail.
Yeah.
It's been really, really good questions. Some excellent questions.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, for you.
Good.
They're actually they're all for all of us actually. Apart from one of them's the one of them's for me. But first question.
Yeah.
Which TV series would you like to guest, write, and direct?
For me?
Yeah.
Good question. Guest, write, and direct.
Yeah.
Can I throw it back?
You can throw it back.
Arrested Development.
That's pretty good.
I'd have a go on Arrested Development.
That's pretty good. Would you know what you'd do? Something?
No, I'd fuck it up. No.
Yeah, that's the thing. No. That's a great question.
No, I'd probably do something like a bit. I don't know.
It has to be an existing TV show that you really quite enjoy that's still active.
Not
a resurrection of something old.
Oh, I'd have a bang on EastEnders.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd have a bang on EastEnders.
You have a bang. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. I'd do Rings of Power. Pull that out the gutter.
You would get weird with it. And
I'd get weird with it.
Yeah. You'd make me watch all 8 episodes, and you'd go, guess which one's mine. And then after the opening credits, that one's yours. Yeah. What? That one's yours.
Oh, fuck.
The one that you shoot on Viggo Mortensen in, that's you.
Yeah.
Do you have complete omnipotence, your complete power?
Complete power, money's no object. Complete choice, complete correct control.
I'm doing EastEnders, and I'm getting weird with it.
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of it.
You're in loads of it, I imagine.
I'm in a big chunk of it.
I bet it's like, and you're doing an Eddie Murphy. You're playing every character just with different prosthetics. You know what I mean? Doing a Mike Myers.
I'm Peggy.
He's playing all of the clumps.
I'm Phil. I'm doing it.
He's playing both the Mitchell brothers.
I want 3 follow cams on me at all times. Well, it's a single shot setup, man.
Yeah. No one looks Mr. Bentley in the eye. Yeah.
And action. Good question.
Good question. And that is, and that is from Harvey Quinn in Hackney. You see how easy it is?
I'm really bothered about who's it from.
You see how easy it is?
Well done. Thank you for using the small camera.
Yeah.
Have and waste the budget on.
Second question.
Yeah.
And it is sort of related, weirdly, to the first one. If you could get the financing for any project you wanted to make,
and we will,
what would you make and why?
I would make a show called The Truth Doesn't Rhyme.
Bingo.
Which is a show that I started developing, and then Harvey and I wrote together in the sort of last 5 to 7 years. And that would be literally the most successful. It would be probably the funniest show that also makes you cry.
Yeah.
Imagine everything that Afterlife wants to be and fails at every single fucking hurdle.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but just infinitely better and funnier and with more.
And the plot is nothing like Afterlife.
Oh yeah, of course not. Of
course. But you're using the way they use
the way he hammerly, just absolutely cack-handedly.
It's too
funny, sad, funny, sad, funny, sad, funny, sad. Ours is.
It's more of a drama. Ours with comedy elements.
Yeah, it's definitely. That's it. Yeah, The Truth Doesn't Rhyme, and that would be with all the money in the world, because inevitably, like those Yanks tried to initially, when they say, change the name. Why don't you fuck off? Because the name's the best thing in it.
Yeah.
The name is from a Chance the Rapper lyric.
Yeah.
Sometimes the truth don't rhyme.
Yeah. Acid Rain. Yeah, I think I would concur with that.
We heard that when we were really, 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 really fucking high.
Really high, yeah. We'd watch the
I heard that lyric and I said, brilliant, that's the name of the show.
we need to rewatch The Room
Very
at
high.
some point. But the thing is, I never make it really past 45 minutes.
No.
Because within the first 20 minutes, there's two very uncomfortable sex scenes with no context.
Is it? Do they happen early on?
Early on, first 20 minutes. Two, jump back to back.
I've actually never made it to the end of that film. I've never known why people throw spoons. I've never got to
that far either. I always get to like do that rooftop. I did not. That bit, yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh my God, when they found her, she was beaten up half to death.
What a funny story.
What a funny story, Mark.
What a genius. Yeah. So yeah, we'd
what would you develop?
Truth doesn't rhyme, or never break character.
I think never break character
because money is no object.
Yeah. Oh well, the second idea. Let's not put that on.
Let's not put it out because it is a fucking brilliant idea.
Development, to be fair, and that's a genuinely good idea that I want to sell to the highest bidder.
Yep. And if we put it out, it will get stolen. Because it's that fucking
thieves and treachery everywhere.
Good. Third question. Oh, that question was from Harvey Quinn again in Hackney.
Busy boy.
It's so bloody easy, isn't it? It's easy.
Busy boy. Busy boy.
Third question.
By the way, Harvey asked me before this episode. He said we got some fan mail today, and I said, "Oh, really? That's interesting." He said, "Yeah. There's four questions. You guess which ones are the real ones."
Two of them have been real so far.
Do you see what I work with?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm doing? This is it.
Yeah.
Fucking
genius. Third question.
Get on with it.
What do the words "good technique" mean to you as an actor?
Good technique.
Yeah. What do they mean to you?
Wow. What a question. Well, I'll let you answer first. What does it mean to you?
I think it means that if you can act and take that as read, then the good technique can work, because a lot of film acting is technique, and it's like, but you have to be able to act to engage with good technique.
Yeah.
So good technique could be, for me, is being able to come to the set with suggestions on tone. Like, I could play this one way or play this the other way. What's your preference? And being able to flip between that on a dime.
Right.
I think also just like knowing where the camera is and knowing like how to cheat certain things, or cheat eye lines. I think it's good technique.
So as an athlete, I immediately think technique is of like footwork, right? Which is interesting because my first screen test of my life was in 2008, and it was for Hollyoaks. And I was in a room about the size of this, which was made to look like the Dog and Dart, or whatever the pub was in the Hollyoaks set.
Yeah.
And I was doing a scene with Jamie Lomas.
Okay.
You can Google him. He played that tough guy and thing. I was very nervous because it was the first time acting with a proper man. I think I was only about like 15 years old.
Oh wow! Okay.
And the camera guy said, Jamie said to him, he was just like, so Jamie on the left, Matt on the right, and I was like, what does that mean? And he meant Jamie's going to lean on his left leg, and Matt, you're going to lean on your right leg, so that everyone has like they're going to shoot it at the same time from behind each other. And that was a real learning curve.
Sure.
Of being like, oh fuck, okay, that's
technical.
This is actually really hard, because you get the lines that morning, and then you got to not get in the way, and then you got to try and make it good.
You got to make it good, yeah. It's
you know
hard.
What I mean?
It's hard.
And he was. I don't know if Jamie Lomas ended up getting cancelled because he's done too much, yeah.
Don't know.
But he was a very good actor, and actually after I didn't get the part, obviously, but that was my first. That was my first of 7 screen tests for Hollyoaks. Do you know how hard it is to screen test for Hollyoaks 7 times and never get a role?
That's actually impressive.
Do you know how fucking hard it is to do that?
Yeah. You were too good for it, though, I think.
I genuinely think I raised the tone and changed the tone a bit.
The tone wasn't right, because the tone of Hollyoaks
so ham with those performances.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's good technique is that sort of thing
for sure.
And then, but I like the idea of actually coming to set with ideas, just doing any sort of homework, basically.
Yeah.
And you know what? Not being too fucking cool for everything.
Yeah.
Be nervous. Be ready. And like, just
and do the work. Do work like that. Like for me, prepping is if let's say you're doing a small role and you've got like 3 lines, right?
That's harder.
It's way harder because you've got to make it interesting. And the only way you make it interesting is you do the work and you come to the set with choices like, am I playing it confident or am I playing it unsure? I could do both, but what's your preference?
I was actually in the booth for a voiceover recently, and another actor was in there, and he added on a little line right at the end of his. He was much older than me, and he's been on a bunch of sitcoms.
Yeah.
I recognised him instantly. I was like, oh shit, this guy.
Yeah, who is he? Yeah.
And he and I was like, oh, that's really, you just did that little. He's like, you know what, Matt? If they don't want it, they'll just tell me to stop doing it. And I like that.
Yeah, just make choices. Yeah, and they'll tell you no.
They'll just it's not going to kill them, just.
And also, obviously, it's like judging a room, reading a room. Like, are they pressed for time? Is everyone stressed? Are you going to piss people off by like?
Yeah, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
Reading the fucking room. It's amazing how many people just in social life and situations can't read emotions. And if the room is tense.
Yeah, and they'll just like be rattling on. You're like, we need you to go, mate. You've got to go. Yeah.
You got to go.
Yeah. The baby's crying. You've got to go.
Get on with your line and fuck off.
Yeah, but that's true. I think that was the thing for me, because now I'm pretty confident on a film set, but it's also knowing when not to be and just saying your lines and fucking off, because it's not about you.
I tend, although I have a lot of like arrogance and cavalier stuff on this show.
Yeah, but it is a character.
Yeah, exactly. And my TikTok's a character as well. In real life, I'm quite insecure.
Professional.
And no, not professional, but subservient. And I can be a little bit. I can apologize for myself quite a lot in the space I take up. Where I am or whatever. And when I recently did a show that I don't want to sound like a cunt. I can't talk about.
Can't talk about it. Yeah.
But I'm playing a character that's very not like myself, and I don't believe in method acting. I don't.
Yeah. No,
but it did help me to play some bad ass fucking music in my
for sure.
And smoke a cigarette as I was walking to set, and I didn't talk to the runners who were escorting me from set to set.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I am playing fucking nutcase here.
Yeah.
And I went for it.
Great.
And it's the first time I've ever really done it.
That's cool.
And I think it really helped me and also they gave me this mad haircut and they put scars on my face and shit. But I was like, it was the first time that I was like, oh, maybe, okay, I don't have to stay in character the whole fucking time. But I didn't want to be like, thanks for picking me up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
like, do you mind can I get a coffee? All right. Like,
yeah.
That was technique for me. That was learning. I'm a very young man still, but you got to learn. You got to be open to learning.
Growth mindset.
You can't just be a dickhead who thinks he knows everything.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I do know a lot though.
When professional historians.
What's that next question, mate? These are brilliant.
Well,
do you know why I like them? Because I get to talk about me.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Well, the last question is for me, so we could talk a little bit more about technique for a little bit if you want.
Yeah. Nah, you just. I'm done with it. You go on.
Are you done with it?
You crack on.
So fourth question, and that last question was from Harvey Quinn in Hackney as well.
Oh yeah,
brilliant questions. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant questions. Harvey Quinn in Hackney. Pathetic. Do you know what I mean? Just like we've got the email address in the description. Just write. Just look. Click on there. Click on it now. Have a look and come up with something. Right? Don't just write. Oh, what's your favourite colour? Oh. How? Like, come on. Think about it. It took me 5 minutes in the bath. Thinking about that.
Yeah.
Fourth question.
Yeah.
This is the real one. And it is for Harvey. I know you refused to talk about it, but what was it like, Harvey, working on the critically acclaimed TV show Industry for HBO? Having done the handsome action man role with ease in Netflix's hit sensation The Witcher, was it fun to embrace the stoic and restrained intellectual choices you do so well? And that is from M. Qualley in Los Angeles, California. Well, Margaret, I don't like talking about it. You assumed correctly. And we'll just say that it was a professional set. We all had fun. I think we did a good job.
Is M. Qualley supposed to be someone famous? Who's Margaret Qualley? Is that a Leng Bird? Is that a famous Leng Bird?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it might be. Who knows?
You don't know? No. Genuinely, I don't know though.
I don't know. It's M. Qualley. It says from Los Angeles, California. I don't. It could be. Just
Margaret. When you think Harvey's a complete moron, look at him commit to this bit. He really believes he's not gonna.
So, but that's just an email we've got. Do you know what I mean?
Random email because they have information they've written and they've asked.
They've written and then they've asked a question.
Yeah, are we calling Industry a hit?
Yeah, I'd say it's a hit.
So would I.
Yeah, I gave an evasive answer, but
Harry Lorty has dropped out of season 4. Scheduling.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's probably going on to do something massive.
He was on borrowed time.
Yeah. Do you think they kicked him?
No. I said he was on borrowed time because I think that's going to be a funny clip. But fine. I think realistically, I think it's very
probably being offered
rare.
Stuff, right?
Exactly. I think it's very rare to be a decent star actor coming from 0 to he was unknown. And then to do a 4th season of that show.
Yeah, true.
In the UK, in America, they're going to pay you silly money.
Yeah.
But it's BBC HBO.
It's BBC HBO, yeah. So, but I mean, I think the contract was HBO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is obviously much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's
Well,
it's great.
If I was Harry Lorty,
it's really good.
I'd be very happy if I was Harry Lorty.
Yeah, because it's 3 series of like a well-reviewed show.
But if you look at like Joe Quinn, who did 1 season of Stranger Things, that show. I mean, but this is what's keeping me going at the moment. Genuinely, sincerely.
Or Harris Dickinson as well.
Yeah, but Harris Dickinson is different because he has been knocking about for 10 years.
The first thing I saw him was in Triangle of Sadness.
No, I've watched him in.
You watched him?
He played John Paul Getty in that film years ago.
Oh, really?
And he's phenomenal.
He's very good.
He's a very good actor. But he's a bad example because he's been knocking around for a very long time. But nowadays, you can do one thing.
Yeah.
And then you're off. And it's up to you to fuck it up, right?
For sure.
You're going to get leapfrogged because you're going to be in the zeitgeist and they'll book you for a couple of movies that year. They'll Remy Malek you, right? They'll put you into fucking everything. If you fuck it up, you fuck it up. I'm glad I remember this. I've wanted to mention an actor who I think is just Mr. Consistent and everyone knows he's not going to fuck the show up and shit the bed.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
If you book Nicholas Hoult for anything, he's going to deliver a 8 out of 10 performance. He's going to do the press flawlessly. He's going to have no controversy in his life.
Yeah,
and he is going to be critically okay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty bang on.
And he's not going to steal from whoever your main star of the film is. He is I would go as far to say that he is the most bankable movie star in terms of longevity.
He's a quality actor.
He's a quality actor, and he's been around for a very long time.
So he's got.
I mean, we're talking about a boy here.
Yeah.
So we're talking 2003 to now.
He's pretty good.
Skins. I watched
Nosferatu. He's the best actor in it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is doing.
He's just done a film with Jude Law as well.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to watch tonight. Great. Actually. I'm going to watch it tonight.
Is it out already?
Yeah. It's out on Amazon.
It's him.
Great company.
It's
Amazon.
Vanessa Kirby as well, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
V Curbs.
Yeah, I like her.
Mrs. Fantastic.
She's amazing, and she's in The Crown as well, isn't she?
Vanessa Kirby is different. Great.
World class.
She's fucking wicked.
But I watched Nosferatu, so. He's the best bit in it. He's the best actor in that movie because he's playing the stakes. He knows the movie that he's in. Every other actor just doesn't know what they're doing. Aaron Taylor-Johnson puts in a all-time horrendous performance.
I think he's fucked.
It's really bad. It's really, really, really bad. And I've seen him be good in like Nocturnal Animals. He's pretty good in that. But I think that might be because he commits to it.
Do you know what? Nocturnal Animals, his performance in Nocturnal Animals is very, very, very good.
Solid, yeah.
But it's very, very, very big.
It's big, yeah. And this, he's playing a very wealthy, posh, sort of caddish character who says "capital man."
Do you know what annoys me more than anything else?
He doesn't get away with it.
Obviously, when I am talking normally, I'm probably quite posh. This is my real voice, and then I do the whole fucking geezer, better, bruv, a lot, right? Yeah. And my voice fluctuates, right? Yeah. But I know how posh people are supposed to sound, right?
Yeah.
And it really annoys me when I can tell when someone who thinks they can do RP well.
Yeah.
Do you know how I know? Because they pronounce their T's too much.
Yeah.
And then it sounds ridiculous, and that's what he does.
RP, it's one of those things that every actor in the UK is like, yeah, I can definitely do it. No, you have to work at it. You have to work at it to be good at it. It's like any accent. But, I've got another quick movie. We've got time, but I've got a quick movie.
Mate, Harvey, we got as long as we want. If people want to keep listening to the show, and
it's a very good point, and it is a show.
Don't rush yourself. They're not fucking going anywhere. No. All right? People are literally using us as background noise here.
No, I'm saying the on-air sign is still on.
Yeah, well, as long as that's on.
If they're coming, won't they? I've got a movie review for you.
Yeah.
I went to see Timothée Chalamet
in
A Complete Unknown.
Tell me about
it. I found it a slog, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think his performance is good.
You said it's a series of scenes.
It's a series of scenes. There's not really any plot. It follows Bob Dylan from 1960 to 1969, so just the 60s. And it's a series of scenes of like well-acted scenes that's quite bleak and quite dark at times. The musical performances are very, very good.
Yeah.
But the problem I have with it, ultimately, and this occurred to me after like a couple of days, is it's not a fun movie at all. I think a musical biopic has to be fun. Straight Outta Compton, it's fun. 8 Mile is fun. It's heart-pumping fun, but it's fun. Bohemian Rhapsody is pretty fun. I have issues with it. Walk the Line's not as fun, but it's still
Walk the Line has moments
energy.
of fun.
It's that energy, yeah. The Rocket Man, fun. It's fun.
Rocket Man is a good film.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody is the biggest piece of shit ever made. But,
I don't like the ending.
The whole thing is absolutely fucking trash. But Rocket Man is a brilliant film.
Yeah.
Love that film.
So the problem I have with it is in that period, 1960, 1969, you watch any footage of Bob Dylan, and Cate Blanchett gets this in her performance.
Yes.
He's very funny.
For reference, Cate Blanchett is in I'm Not There, which Heath Ledger, Cate Blanchett, Christian Bale all played a version of Bob Dylan. And Cate Blanchett's, just YouTube it.
It's fantastic.
Is flawless. And yes, he's very funny.
Yeah, he's very funny. He's rebellious, but not in a angsty, like, fuck you way. It's more of a, well, wouldn't it be funny if we just keep playing rock and even though we're at Newport Folk Festival. And it was kind of like a, fuck you. It wasn't like an angry fuck you.
And Chalamet plays down
and Timothy Chalamet plays it too angsty, too brooding and dark. And he's a good actor, and he's brilliant.
He is a good actor.
But if he had played that movie a bit lighter, and if they had allowed, he has moments where he's light and funny, but they're very, very rare. But if they lent into that, the movie becomes fun, and you're along for the ride, and it's 2 hours, and it feels very, very, very long.
I think it's a complete guess, but I would be guessing that he was told to do Willy Wonka because he wanted to do Bob Dylan.
Probably.
He's doing Willy Wonka so that he can get dark and broody with this. When he did The King, which is as dark and broody, he's still trying to impress people. He's not Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, I think this one, the reason he's playing it dark and broody is he's thinking, I want to win an Oscar.
Well, if he does, he'll be the youngest to ever do it.
Yeah, he wants to win an Oscar. But he said in that speech the other day, he's like,
for greatness.
I'm trying for greatness. I know that's not common. Which I like, but it's like also like.
So I really rate that because people laugh in my face when I turn around at dinner parties, and I say it a lot. Yeah. They go, "No, we don't." I'm like, I'm going to win a BAFTA.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go from TikTok, and I'm gonna win a BAFTA. I might not win an Oscar, but I think I'm going to be one of the greats.
Yeah.
And I really mean it, which is so insane if you're not in my own head. But
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Nice to hear someone else
just achieving some stuff
who is not afraid to be like, man, I'm here. I'm in the great game. I'm going.
Yeah. And I do like him. I like all the choices that he made. I mean, I've not seen Willy Wonka. I never will see Willy Wonka. But I like a lot of the stuff that he does. I'm a fan of.
I just realised I said all that stuff with these glasses still on, which is not going to be the best look.
But you know what?
But there's nothing wrong with saying you want to be great. There's nothing wrong with it. I think especially as Brits, we're far too subservient to saying stuff of what you actually want.
We're very, very self-deprecating.
Everyone at my drama school, I know I keep banging on about it, they're all too afraid to fucking say what they really wanted in their careers. Why? What are you talking? Why are you afraid? Just say it.
Yeah, true.
Own it. Man.
I think by saying stuff, people think they're committing to it, and then if they don't do it, they feel they've let themselves down. But I think they'll just say stuff.
Can I end the show on something? Can I end the show? So I think when I was a tennis coach, there was a thing called hoppers, which is a basket of balls, and I got very good at throwing the ball into the hopper from various distances. And we used to do these summer camps where you get like 45 kids on a court, loads of kids, and I would stop everyone. I'd stop all the coaches, everyone. I'm a very loud person when I want to be. And I'd be like, everybody stop. Everybody watch me. This ball is going in that hopper from here. It's going to happen. You're all about to witness something pretty incredible. And I'd go the whole length of over miles away. And I'd really hold it and everyone would be watching me. And I would launch this ball. And it missed. Every time. But the point is, no one fucking, apart from me, remembers that it missed.
No one does.
But had it gone in, they would talk about it for the rest of their lives. And that is what I'm about. If only you will remember your failures. But if you call it and it happens, then it's just biblical. And that is why, whilst I'm quite pessimistic about lots of things in my life, I'm incredibly optimistic about it's the show. And it's all a show. This is a show. You've been watching the Lack of Focus podcast with Matt Bentley and Harvey Quinn.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week.
We will see. Well, 2 weeks.
Whatever, man.